Hello there, a very warm welcome for this session of resume building. Today we will be learning the difference between a curriculum vitae and the resume and their different applications. It is oftentimes seen that freshers and even professionals who are experienced find it difficult to differentiate between the curriculum vitae and resume. And oftentimes they think that a resume and curriculum vitae are one and the same. But of course, both are different and they differ in terms of their application, their usage, and their demand. So today we will be understanding about where and how can we use a curriculum vitae and where should we use a resume. Okay, and how should we structure them. So today we will be basically learning about three things. That is, one is biodata, second, a curriculum vitae and a resume, and their purpose. So now every type has a different purpose. That's why they exist in the market. So first, going with biodata. What does that mean? So biodata, again, it means biographical data. It's basically an archaic terminology for resume or curriculum vitae. So I do remember when my father was applying for jobs, he used to carry a biodata, and hardly it had information such as the home address, the religion, the nationality, his birth date, and the education that he has done. But now biodata has no relevance in the corporate world or in the market, and no one uses biodata for job application. Yes, but it do have a relevance in market as well for matchmaking purposes. That is for matrimonial purposes. Yeah. So biodata, again, it does not have any limit to the pages. It really depends upon what the other person wants to know about you or what information you would want to give the other person. So basically, it can focus on the date, time of birth, gender, religion, race, nationality, residence, so on and so forth. So again, this would be a prime focus. But yeah, again, just for your knowledge, this particular section has been covered in this video. So again, if you're planning to make a biodata for your matrimonial purposes, these are the various things that you can consider. Again, it is highly customizable. There is no standard format or rules or protocols that has to be followed while formulating a biodata. Next, the very important, the curriculum vitae, that is often known as CV. Now, curriculum vitae derives from Latin, which means the course of life. So the word itself suggests that course of life means the entire journey of not your entire life, but also of your professional career. So here, a CV is more detailed than a resume. So I would rather say a curriculum vitae is an extended form of a resume. And generally, a curriculum vitae is minimum 2 pages or 3 pages, and it can be even longer depending upon the requirement of the company or the experience that you may possess. Why curriculum vitaes are so extensive is because they would highlight all the skills and all the jobs or position that you have held and the work experience that you might possess. So this curriculum vitae, you might wonder that is it applicable for me? Or do I as a professional need to format or draft a curriculum vitae than a resume? I would say no. It really depends upon sector to sector or job profile. And also it depends upon the company that is demanding. For example, if you want to get into a position of a professor or as a researcher, okay, or as a doctor, here these institutions they often demand for a curriculum vitae. Why? Is because they want to know your entire track record, your entire professional journey from the time you started, okay, from the time you got graduated and where you are now. So this will extensively highlight the projects that you have done, your achievements, your accomplishments, your accolations. Okay, and also if you have done PhDs or masters, everything from your 10th till what you have done till now. So they want to know your entire curriculum history and also your work history. Now, like I said, it really depends upon job profile and the sectors and also the institutions. So for as a corporate professional, definitely there is no requirement for you to make a curriculum vitae unless there is a specific demand from the company. So your another point to add that if you even have a 20 years of experience, you need to add it in a curriculum vitae. Okay. So again, here there is no requirement or there is no rule that The minimum page should be one, like a resume. But here, of course, you can use number of pages depending upon your experience. But do remember one thing: if you're planning to draft a curriculum vitae, see to it that you have to put entire details. Even if you have any gaps in your career, you will have to mention that. But it will be highlighted by default because you'll have to mention each and everything. Okay, the certification that you have done, the projects that you worked in, what was your role, what was your jobs, roles and responsibilities, your KRAs, your KPIs, everything will be mentioned and has to be mentioned in a curriculum vitae. Now let's move on to resume. So a resume, of course, it's not an English word. Many a times or often I see people calling it resume. So the proper pronunciation would be resume because it's a French word, which means summary. Again, it's no brainer because, like I said, curriculum vitae is an extensive form of resume. So, here again, resume is a summary of a curriculum vitae. So, if you have a curriculum vitae with you, it will be very easy for you to draft a resume because you're just trying to summarize it. But it's easily said than done, right? Why? Because when you try to summarize things, you have to eliminate a lot of things. And that's where the problem comes into picture. Oftentimes, aspirants find it very difficult to understand what things should I be eliminating from my resume and what I shouldn't. These important pointers, we will be covering it in our second session. But as of now, I will highlight some key important points that you will be covering on your resume. Okay, in your resume. A summary of one's education. So you'll try to highlight your educational qualification, your skills that you might have gained through doing projects or working. Again, if you have employment experience, you'll try to highlight that. You will also keep a section for your certifications. You'll also have a section for extra works or extracurricular activities. Okay, you can also try to highlight your key achievements and so on and so forth. But it is, of course, there is always a scope of you keep make drafting a resume of 2 pages. But I would recommend you all that never exceed more than 1 page. Okay, why? Because basically a resume should consist all the information in 1 page. The reason being is when an HR is scanning through your resume, the HR only uses 30 seconds, okay, to scan through your resume. I think I said more. Many times, even they won't even spend 30 seconds. It's the study says that hardly 7 seconds is spent to scan through your resume. So, is your information so attractive enough to hook them and tell them to invest more time? So, that 7 second of glancing should or can only happen if your resume is one pager. That's why, like I said, it's very difficult to draft resume on 1 page, but it can be easily done. So that was all in this particular session. In the next session, we will be diving more deep into the structure of the resume and the components of the resume. Thank you so much.